been drowned. The haunted Majora's Mask cartridge. I need to share something that's been deeply disturbing me. It's related to a copy of The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask I picked up recently, and the terrifying things that have happened since. I'm not trying to write a creepypasta or fake story. I honestly feel like my mental health, maybe even my safety, could depend on understanding what's going on. It started when I moved into my college dorm at the start of sophomore year. A friend gave me his old Nintendo 64. I was excited. Finally, I could play all the classic games I hadn't touched in over a decade. He only gave me one game, Super Smash Bros. It was fun for a while, but I got bored quickly. That weekend, I went driving around neighborhoods off campus, hoping to find garage sales and maybe score a few old cartridges. I did. I found GoldenEye, F-Zero, Pokemon Stadium, and a couple of extra controllers. I felt lucky. Then, as I was heading out of one neighborhood, I noticed one last house. No cars in the driveway. One table outside. Nothing special about it, but for some reason, I felt drawn to it. An old man was sitting there. He didn't look dangerous, just unsettling. His face was hard to read. One of his eyes was glazed over like he might be blind. When I asked if he had any old video games, he seemed confused, then said he might have some in a box. He went into the garage. While I waited, I looked at the table. It had a bunch of strange art, abstract ink blot style paintings. Creepy stuff. One of them looked eerily like Majora's Mask, heart-shaped with spikes. I thought maybe I was imagining it because I had been hoping to find that game. The old man returned and handed me a gray N64 cartridge. No sticker, just the word Majora written in black permanent marker. I asked him how much he wanted. He said it was free. It used to belong to a kid about my age who didn't live there anymore. Something about the way he said it made me uncomfortable. Still, I took it. Back at my dorm, I loaded the cartridge. To my surprise, it worked fine. There was one save file already on it. Ben. That's when it hit me. The old man might have said, "Goodbye, Ben." Maybe I reminded him of someone. Maybe I reminded him of his grandson. I made a new file and named it Link, like I always do. The game played smoothly, but there were weird glitches. Textures flickered, some cutscenes appeared at the wrong time, and occasionally the game would refer to my character as Ben, not Link. That creeped me out. Eventually, I deleted the Ben file, figuring it was just a corrupted save causing the confusion. But then the game stopped calling me anything. In dialogue boxes where the NPCs should have said Link, the space was just blank. That somehow felt worse. I kept playing, trying to ignore it. I beat the Woodfall Temple and later attempted a well-known glitch, the fourth day glitch. If you time things right, you can trick the game into giving you a secret extra day by looking through the telescope at the exact moment time runs out. I got the glitch to work, but instead of being in the observatory, I was suddenly in the final boss arena. Skull Kid was there, floating silently. The music was quiet, ambient, unsettling. Then a text box popped up. Open quote. "You're not sure why, but you apparently had a reservation." Close quote. That's dialogue from the Stockpot Inn, totally out of place here. I tried moving around, but Skull Kid just floated above me, always facing me. Then another message. Open quote, "Go to the lair of the temple's boss? Yes, no." Close quote. I couldn't select no. I pressed yes, and the screen went white. Open quote, "Dawn of a new day." Close quote. I found myself in a broken version of Clocktown. Empty. No characters. No music. Just the song of healing played in reverse, looping endlessly. The silence and loneliness hit me like a wave. I explored the town. The textures were glitchy and broken. West Clocktown had invisible walkways. There was no one anywhere. It was like the town had died. But I felt like I was being watched. I tried leaving town. The screen would go black and I'd just reappear in another section of Clocktown. I tried playing the Song of Time to escape, but all I got was, open quote, "Your notes echo far, but nothing happens. Your night is stacking." Close quote. It was clear. The game wasn't going to let me leave. I ran to the laundry pool, thinking maybe I could drown Link to escape. As I got there, suddenly Link grabbed his head, the screen flashed, and the Happy Mask salesman's face appeared for a split second. Then, the statue, the Elegy of Emptiness statue of Link, standing there, staring, that horrible, expressionless face. I screamed. I turned around and ran, and the statue followed me. Not walking, but appearing behind me every few seconds. I'd enter a new zone and it would show up behind me again. It was like it was haunting me. Link began to glitch, spasming, twitching, doing animations I'd never seen before. Random flashes of the masked salesman's smile. Eventually, I ran into the Swordmaster's dojo, desperate for safety. The statue cornered me in a back room. I tried attacking it. Nothing worked. Then Link turned to face the screen, mimicking the statue, both staring directly at me. It felt like the game had become aware of me. Suddenly, I was transported to a tunnel underground. I had a short break, but the statue kept appearing. I ran out, but then a Redead screamed and the screen faded. Open quote, dawn of a new day. Close quote. I was back at the top of the clock tower. Skull Kid floated above. The moon was incredibly close, looming, ready to crash. A reversed version of the Stone Tower Temple music played, like it's slow and warped. I drew my bow and shot at Skull Kid. On the third hit, a message appeared. Open quote, that won't do you any good. Hee hee. Close quote. Link floated into the air and burst into flames, screaming. That happened 2 more times. On the third time, there was no music. I tried to play the Song of Time, but before I finished, Link exploded again. When the screen came back, Link's body was lying on the rooftop, not the usual game over scream. Just dead. Skull Kid hovered above. I couldn't move. The game sat like that for 30 seconds before cutting to, open quote, you've met with a terrible fate, haven't you? Close quote. Then the game returned to the title screen. But now, my save file was gone. A new one had replaced it. Your turn. It had 3 hearts, no items, no progress. I selected it, and it dropped me back into the rooftop scene. Skull Kid laughing endlessly. I reset the console. When it booted back up, a new file had appeared under your turn, Ben. It was back. That's when I turned the console off. I didn't sleep that night. I kept hearing that backwards song of healing in my head. The sheer dread I felt in that glitched clock town was like nothing I've ever experienced. The next day, I returned to the old man's house. I brought a friend, but the house was for sale. No one answered the door. It was like the man was never there. Now I'm writing this all down. Part of me wants to just burn the cartridge, but I can't. I feel like the game wants me to continue, like it's not over. Tomorrow, I might load the Ben save and see what happens. I don't know if this is paranormal or just some twisted hack, but either way, it's real, and it's terrifying.